Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, it is that time of year. It only happens twice a year. The Sephora savings event is happening now. I want to say thank you to Sephora for sponsoring this video. So I'm going to be sharing a haul with you guys. This is the perfect time, if you haven't already, to sign up to become a Beauty Insider member. It's completely free and it will give you access to events like this that only happen twice a year where you can get huge savings. So this is the perfect time to pick up gifts for the holidays, stock up on your favorite products, or maybe try something new. And depending on what tier you are, you can get 10, 15, or 20% off your order. And every tier gets 30% off Sephora collection. And if you've not tried Sephora collection, very, very reasonably priced, but high quality products. Now, Rouge members get first access to shop starting October 31st through November 10th, and they get 20% off. I am a Rouge member. We also have something exciting where we can bring a friend to receive a one-time use 20% off, and that is from October 31st through November 3rd. It is in store and online, so I thought that was pretty cool. Now, if you are a VIB member, you get 15% off starting November 4th through November 10th, and then for insiders, you get 10% off. And again, starting November 4th through November 10th. And the code this year at checkout is everything. And you can also utilize the same day delivery, which I am definitely a fan of, as well as buy online and pick up in store. So I will have all the information in my description box, just going over the event. And I will also have the link to sign up to become a Beauty Insider member. Highly recommend doing so because you do get access to events like this and other perks with free shipping and things of that nature. So everything that I shared today, of course, is available at Sephora. I will have links to every individual product in order, so it makes it easier for you guys if you want to check out anything that I picked up. But let's go ahead and zoom you in a little bit closer and see what I picked up so far. Let's start off with a product from Sephora collection. I saw this brush and I am much more into cream products just because my skin is getting a little bit more dry as I get older. So I wanted to grab this Pro Foundation 40 brush. I love brushes like this that are slanted. It has the right density so it gives me coverage, but I could use this for cream blush, cream bronzer, and also of course as a foundation brush. This is definitely densely packed, so I do find that it does give me coverage. And I also like the size of it. It's not too oversized to where I feel like I can't get around my brows and kind of areas that are a little bit more tight, but it's also not too small where I feel like it takes me forever to do my foundation. So I'm pretty happy with this purchase. It's just a brush that I will use for so many different products. I'm a little late to the game on this second product, but I actually was in store and I swatched this and I was like, I need to have it. So this is the Laneige Glaze Craze Lip Serum. Now this is tinted, which I love. If you've been following my channel, you know that I love baby pinks. I love milky, really high shine glosses or balms. And I love when lip balms actually have pigment. So this is in Strawberry Sprinkles and the applicator is really interesting. It almost looks like a little donut, but this color was speaking to me. And it smells divine. So this is a really beautiful, shiny baby pink. So for me personally, I would purchase this or use this more for the look of it, not necessarily like a lip treatment, but because it has that really pretty milky pink shade, I just knew I had to have this. I also picked up a full size of this setting spray. This is the Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm from Danessa Myricks. Now I have the mini size and I have been using it a ton. Most of the time I use it when I don't want to wear powder and I want a little bit of a settle down, but I don't have the time or honestly energy to like set my whole face. So a lot of times I'll use like a tinted SPF and then I'll put some concealer and I might tap a little bit of powder in my T-zone and then just spray my face with this. And it really does just kind of mattify, but not in like a drying kind of crunchy way. So this really is a time saver for me personally. I don't know about the blurring aspect. I feel like it's hard to tell unless I kind of like watched myself on camera and then did half my face. But I do find that it does just kind of settle the powders down in a matte fashion that makes my makeup last better and also not feel so sticky if I'm too lazy to put powder on, to be honest. Next, let's talk about what is on my eyes. I saw this palette and knew that I was going to grab it. So this is the Moon Dust Quad for Holiday from Urban Decay. This is definitely a different take. Usually they use some of their like cult favorite colors and it is more neutral, but this has a really pretty like purple iridescence. And I will say that 3 of the shades in here seem to be the standard Moon Dust formula where they're really, really glittery and high shine. They're very, very pretty. But then there is one color in here that is more of like an iridescent flip. It doesn't really have glitter. It's a little bit harder pressed. So I used this first and I did have to build that up. If you look at the swatch, it barely shows. So you really got to build this up, but it does give a really pretty like glow. I don't know, it's pretty angelic on the eyes if you want something more subtle, but I use this and then I topped it with this bright white shade. I just think this is such a good value, especially because one Moon Dust shadow is like 20 some dollars and this whole palette is much more cost effective if you want options. So I think it's really pretty. Just know that one of the shades in here doesn't have like the glitter that most of the Moon Dust shadows have, but I still find that they're pretty impactful even using that one as a base. It just gave me a really soft, kind of like angel-like glow to the lids. I also couldn't help myself. I was eyeing this bronzer and I heard some mixed reviews and then I saw Nikki LaRose rave about it and I was like, you know what, let me pick that up. So this is the Givenchy Prisme Libre bronzer. I love the packaging and presentation. I got it in the shade 02 and it does have 4 different colors in here, but the idea is to just swirl in and it gives you such a pretty bronzed glow. I was kind of thinking this was going to be too sheer based on some of the reviews, but I actually found it to really build up nicely. It looks like one shade in here has a little bit of a satin finish. The rest of them appear to be matte, and this just blended super easily. It gave me this really warm, without being orange, sort of bronze. My only complaint about this is the scent is very, very strong. It doesn't bother me because I can't really smell it unless I'm like right up there applying it. Once I apply it to the skin, I don't smell it anymore, but just keep that in mind. It is quite strong. It could have been dialed back a little bit, but my first impression is that the formula is absolutely beautiful. Also on my cheeks today, I did try out one of these new blushes from Glossier. So these are the Cloud Paint Plush blushes. So I picked up 2 shades and I'm wearing the shade Puff today. Now I will say the packaging is a little bit lightweight. I wish it would have been a little bit more substantial, but I do believe you can pop these out. And this texture is very, very similar to the Rare Beauty, the new blushes, any sort of like bouncy formula where it almost feels like a cream, but it goes to a soft, like blurred powder on the skin. This is such a beautiful color. I did have to build it up quite a bit, but I do believe this is one of the lightest shades, and I think it's so pretty on the cheeks. And then I also got Billow. I haven't used this yet, but this just screamed my name because it's so different. Now this is a true lilac color. It has a little bit of that pink undertone, but it's definitely way more purple than, let's say, like the Dior. So I think these are really, really nice upon my first impression. I just want to try more shades, to be honest, and I am intrigued to get this one on my cheeks. I did pick up one product from Rhode because I have tried a lot of the products from the brand, but this one was newer and really intrigued me. So this is the Rhode Glazing Mist. Now this is kind of like a hydrating mist that you can use before or after makeup or in your skincare. I really do like the skincare that I've tried from Rhode because it's not full of fragrance and it was quite hydrating. So I use this before my foundation, and the mister is a little intense. It kind of comes at you fast. So I don't know if I would use this over makeup just because of that. But it was really nice and thin. It didn't feel sticky, but I did feel like it gave me an extra layer of hydration. I'm wearing matte foundations and I do feel like my skin just looks a little bit more lived in, which is good, again, because my skin is getting drier by the day. So first impression on this is really, really good. I figured that I would like it just because I have had good luck with the other Rhode skincare products. And I do think this would be something nice to have just for those days when you want a little bit extra hydration, and the fact that it did blend really nicely and sit nicely under makeup is a plus for me. And because we're going into the colder months here in the Midwest, I did pick up 2 more lip balms. Now these are true like treatment balms. So I did get the Ole Henriksen Peptide Lip Treatment in Vanilla Bonbon. Wow, this smells divine. This is hands down my favorite. I love the strawberry one, but this smells incredible. It's not like a cheap vanilla. It's like a rich, gourmand vanilla. It is delicious, and it's just a really thick, hydrating formula. I typically use this before bed, so I had to get my hands on the vanilla scent, and I am not disappointed. It is a clear color, which is fine with me because it is like a treatment for me. And then I was really eyeing this, and I just wanted to try it. So this is from Made, which is a newer brand to Sephora. And I really wanted to try this because the reviews were raving about this. I have to say that I really like the applicator. I'm a huge fan of the Wise Beauty lip balm or like a gloss tints. Those are more for high shine and for the tint they give you. This is definitely a much more sticky, like thick, almost think like syrupy type of formula. So if you need hydration, this one really coats the lips. I would say more in the wheelhouse of the Ole Henriksen, just in terms of how thick and sticky it is. Now this does have a scent to it. It's sort of a little bit like a fruity scent. I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like it's a little bit much on the lips. It doesn't like deter me, but I do kind of wish that the scent wasn't there. But this is very, very hydrating. It coats the lips almost like a protective layer. So I have a feeling I'm going to be using this a ton in the coming months. Again, both of these are heavier in terms of the thickness of them, but I find that that gives me more protection and more hydration, which is definitely much needed. I did also pick up another shade of the Hung Van Gogh Soft Kohl Eyeliner. So I picked up the shade Brown, and I originally tried the black. This is such a nice formula if you want to do a soft, smoky wing, or if you just want to like smudge it. So I have it on today. It's really blendable without losing the base of it, and it just layers beautifully. So if you want to apply it, smudge it out, and then you need more depth, you can just keep layering it. It doesn't get choppy, it doesn't get patchy. I think this formula is incredible. I mentioned it in my Sephora recommendations because he really, really did a great job with his liners. And then I did splurge, and I picked up this Westman Atelier lip liner. Now I got the color Biscuit, and I'm wearing it right now. The color kind of reminds me of Makeup by Mario Travis, which is one of my favorites. Definitely a cooler tone. I would say a little bit lighter and cooler than Travis, but in the similar wheelhouse. My thing with this is it's not the longest lasting. So if you want to smudge your liner, this will definitely give you that playtime. It still hangs around and you get that almost like a stain or a left behind, I guess, shadow. But for me personally, I like something that is just like locked in, okay, like bulletproof, because I feel like I can get a little bit of like bleeding very easily. I don't know if it's just like my anatomy or what it is. So I think this is nice. It's a little bit pricey for what it is for me personally, but if you want a liner that you can kind of apply and then just smudge out, think like instead of the Rhode lip contours, this can give you a similar effect, but not completely wipe away. And the last makeup item I got was another color in the Valentino Puffer Gloss formula. So this is in the shade 300R. I absolutely love the pink shade. I raved about it in my recommendations. So I wanted to get this shade because it has like a really pretty iridescence to it. Now this formula is plumping, but it doesn't hurt. It's very, very mild. It's sort of like a peppermint sort of plump, and it has a really interesting gel texture. So it's not sticky, but it does coat the lips. I like this shade, but I still am loving my extra pink shade. This does have just enough sparkle though to give me a little bit of oomph, because I don't like when glosses are completely clear. So I'm happy with this so far. I know I like the formula, but I wanted something to give me just like a little bit of iridescent shimmer to the middle of the lip, and this definitely did that for me. I have a couple repurchases that I wanted to stock up on, so I may actually get a couple more. I'm trying to hold back, but we'll see. This is incredible from Sol de Janeiro, and this is their shower oil. It smells absolutely divine. I love this scent, but really what I love about this is how hydrating it is. I wish that they would come out with all of their scents in this formula, because it almost has a syrupy like texture and it just really hydrates the skin. I do find that a lot of body washes are just too harsh or drying on me, but this one, because it has that like oil feel, it is fabulous. I absolutely love this. I've gone through multiple bottles, so I highly recommend this, especially going into the winter months. And then I did also pick up another of the Chris Appleton and Color Wow Money Mask. This is perfection if you want to detangle, smooth, and give you that like sleek, shiny hair. I also love the Dream Coat, but this mask truly gives you like that sleek, straight hair. So I don't use this when I want to curl my hair just because it makes it too soft and shiny, but it really does just such a great job at smoothing, helping with frizz. So highly recommend this. I also think that it has kind of like a cool water scent, if you know what I'm talking about, which I find to be pleasant. I did also pick up an additional hair product from a newer brand to me. So this is the Chris McMillan Glassy Smooth Blowout Spray. So I got the mini just to try it out. This really does a great job if you like, again, that sleek look, if you want your frizz to be toned down, if you want that straight, really shiny hair. It's very comparable to the Color Wow Dream Coat, but I would say that you need way less of this than the Color Wow. That's one thing about that, is you really kind of have to coat your hair section by section, but this one way less really does the job. And I do find that it doesn't weigh my hair down, which is something that's difficult for me to find, especially because I have really fine hair. So I'm pretty impressed with this. I think I'm probably going to use it up eventually, and I will repurchase just because it does give me that really sleek look and I don't have to use a ton of it. And to finish off this haul, I did pick up another of one of my favorite brushes. This is the Makeup by Mario F4. I absolutely love this brush. I find that I could never have enough of these. I love this side for bronzer or even foundation. It's that slanted tip that I really love, but this one is definitely not as dense as the Sephora collection one. And then on this side, it's more of a precise slanted brush, perfect for cream contour and even cream bronzer. So this is just truly a must-have in my collection, especially if I'm traveling. This is like a 2-for-1, and I just love this brush so much. I would have like 20 of them if I could, but I'm trying to reel it in a little bit. So I think this may be like my 3rd or 4th now, and honestly, you can never have enough of these. All right, guys, so I think that is everything for this Sephora haul. I probably will have another haul because things are dropping left and right, so I'm always checking to see what is new. But I will link everything that I shared today down below in my description box, and I will also have a link at the top of my description box to become a Beauty Insider member. Highly recommend signing up. It's completely free and it gets you access to events like this. So all of the links will be down below. Let me know what you've picked up so far and what products you have your eye on. I always love chatting with you guys in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. As always, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.